This is part two of 1.24 uh, basic inputs. So in part one, we covered step 8, step 13, and 19. And now we're on part 4, step 25 right here. Okay. Now, this is assuming that you'd finished part 3 already. So what you want to do is go back to Robot C. You're on part 3 file. And what you want to do is go to File, Save As, and then you're going to change that to part 4. Now, I already have part 4 here because I was checking the code. So I'm not going to do this on my screen. So for you, you need to change the 3 to 4 and click Save and make sure you're on Save As. Okay. All right. I'm going to cancel here. So this was my part 3. I'm going to close this one. Now this is part 4. What I've done in advance was I changed the title, changed part 4 here. I changed the task description. We're going to use the encoder to turn on and off the motor. And then I changed the pseudocode. The pseudocode that I got here is from PLTW in step number 25. So this is the one I'm going to check. Okay. So we're going to turn on both motors when we press start. We're going to use the encoder. We're going to turn it 480 degrees. And then the motors will go in reverse, both of them. But after 3.5 rotations of the encoder, then the both motors will stop. Okay, so this will be our pseudocode. Um, all right, so let's begin. So in order to do this, again, you should have completed all of this before moving on. And so now let's continue the code. We're gonna take some of this code, actually all of it. We're gonna copy it, Control C, and then Control V to paste it. Okay. We have left motor, we just half speed, quad. Um, so basically, the part of the code covers this one. Okay. But instead of stopping the motor, we want to go in reverse. So I'm gonna delete. Actually, I'm gonna move this down a bit. I'm gonna put some space here. I'm gonna take the first 2 lines of code and I'm going to paste it here. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste it here. What's gonna happen? Left motor and the right motor is gonna start. When the encoder gets to 480, then it's gonna reverse the motor. So we need to put a negative here and a negative here. So while we're here, we're gonna put a comment here. Start left motor. Okay. Start right motor. Sorry. Then I'm gonna stop here, and then you do the rest. Okay, for the sake of making the video a bit shorter. Encoder to 480 count. Okay. All right. So when I get to 480, the left and right motor should reverse. And then what's going to stop the motor is that when the encoder reaches a certain number of counts. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. Now, on the instruction, it says 3.5 rotations. So one rotation of the encoder is 360. So 360 times 3.5 will give me 1260. So we're going to change this to 1260. Okay. Remove that space. Again, it's your responsibility to put in the comments. So when I check it, it should be there. I'm going to click on Fix Formatting. I'm going to click on Save and Compile Program. Everything checks out. I'm going to download to Robot. All right, so my encoder is working. I've been using it, so it's not at 0 anymore. So I'm going to put it back at 0. So this is the encoder right here. If you're looking at my video, my screen, on the bottom right, you're going to see the encoder. I'm using the encoder. Okay, now it's at 0. I'm gonna press start. Okay, the two motors are starting. I'm gonna spin the encoder until it gets to 480, and you'll notice that the motors are going to reverse. Right now I'm at 200, 240, 270, 290, 300. Okay, I'm getting to 480 soon, and you notice it reversed. Now for the encoder to for the motors to stop, I have to turn this 1260 degrees, um, and then it will stop. So it's about to stop soon. I'm gonna get to 1260 soon. There you go, 1261, and it stopped there. Okay, so that's how that works. You can put an encoder on an axle, like on a robotic vehicle, and it will count how many times the wheels have spun. And by doing that, you can make it stop or go at a certain distance. Okay, instead of using a timer. All right, so that's part 4 of the assignment. Now we're going to move on to step 29. Okay, um, let's see. So step 29 is actually part 5. So I'm going to put part, there should be a part here. Step 29. Okay, so it's, sorry, going back to this, step 29 and 32 are the same. They're related to each other. You got to do step 29 to get to 32. Okay. All right. So what we need to do is to get the numbers for the what do you call this? The line follower. Okay. Um, all right. We have the white value and then the dark value that we have to fill in. Okay. All right. It says here, place a white object paper within 1/4 and 1/8 in front of the line follower sensor. Record the value for that sensor displayed in the sensor debug window. Make sure that that enough light is available to eliminate the white object or the sensor while register while will register darkness. Place a dark object within one in front of the file follower. Record the value of that sensor displayed in this sensor debug window. Okay, so I need a light object and a dark object. So I can take a piece of paper that will be my light object, like this, and then I need a dark object. Um, Maybe something black like your phone. You can put your phone if it has a black case. Something not reflective, um, or yeah, just you have to look for something dark. So I have a dark plastic piece here for my keyboard, and I can use that to cover the line follower. Okay, so um, let's go ahead and get this one ready. So go to this one, click File, Save As. We're gonna call this Part 5. Okay, and click Save. We're gonna use the line follower, so it's gonna be Part 5. We're gonna use using the line follower. Okay, use the line follower. I'm not sure if we're turning on a robot motor on and off. Let's see. Yeah, I think the servo. Well, should we just call it motor still. Okay. Um, the pseudocode, we're gonna get it from I think 29, 32. This one right here. Okay. This will be our pseudocode. We're gonna copy that. I'm going to paste it here. Okay. All right. Move the servo to position 127 until dark object is detected. Move servo to position negative 127. So the servo is going to go to 127 when we press start. Once it detects a dark object, it will go to position negative 127. Okay, we're going to delete this. We'll go back to Project Lead the Way. Let's go and look at this. Okay, I think this code is the same as pseudocode here. Let me double check. Yeah, I think it is. So let me go copy that, paste that here. Okay. Um, I think that's it. Then you have part six. I don't think we have part six in there. Do we have part six? Oh, we do have part six. Okay. Um, all right. So part five, we are using the line follower. Okay. We're gonna fix formatting, save it. Okay. Compile it. But before we can actually, this number right here, there's 1425. This is a number that you have to calculate. Okay. So let me show you what I mean by that. Um, so going back to the robot, we're gonna go download to robot because we need the line follower. So what you need to do is this. On your line follower, you remember you have a light object and a dark object. So your light object will be this, let's say, piece of paper. You're gonna put it on top of the line follower like that, and read off the number from the line follower. So without kind of moving around. So the line follower is reading 140. Okay. So you're gonna write down 140 somewhere. Okay. So that's light, and then you have a dark object, like something dark, something black. Um, and then you're gonna put your finger, or not your finger, the dark object right there. So 29, say 2910. Okay, 2910 for me. If you don't have a dark object, I guess you can use your hand. Okay, like that. So this one, 2910 was my reading. I'm just checking here. So that would be my dark. Okay. All right. So on my calculator, I'm going to show you it's 140 plus 2910 divided by 2. It's 1525. So that number is important. Okay. So when you get to your on your paper, the one you actually get from me, what you're gonna do is this. You're gonna write down the white value. So for me, it's 140. So for you, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different for everybody because you sit in different parts of the room. The lighting is different for everybody. And then the average was 19, I believe, or 1525. Okay. So remember, I took 140 and 2910. I added them together, and then divide by 2. I got 1525. Okay. All right. So that number is the one that goes here. Okay. So I'm kind of lucky. I'm close. So I'm just going to put 15 though. Okay. So your number will be different. So I should not see the same number as mine because for sure, 95% of the time, it will be different. Okay. All right. Let's see. So now you're ready to download this again. So we're gonna close this little window, download to robot, and then I'm going to press start. So the servo moved to 127. Now it's waiting for that line follower to drop down. Okay. So I'm gonna put a light object on it, and the servo should move because the line follower is gonna read a small number. There you go. Okay. So I'm gonna press start again. Watch this line follower here on the bottom right. This little video. And then I'm going to put a light object. Remember, my light object reads 140, I believe. And then it's going to bring that value down once I put this light object there. There you go. Okay. So that's how a line follower works. It detects dark and light. Okay. I'm going to stop that and I'm going to click save. Okay. I'm going to pause a little bit to check on the robot real quick. Okay. So this is part 6 of the um, basic inputs. This is going to cover step 39. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the sonar. The sonar here in the video, we will use that uh, to turn on the motor, and then it's going to move, and then we're gonna turn off the motor using it also. Okay. So it's gonna turn on the motor when we get close to it, and then as we move away, it's gonna turn off the motor. Okay. All right. Um, so what we're gonna do to get started on this, we're on part 5, so we're gonna turn this into part 6. You're gonna go to File, Save As. You're gonna go to change that to part 6, save, and then using the line follower. So instead of using the line follower, you're gonna use sonar, and then change that to 6. Use the sonar, turn on and off the motor. And the pseudocode, we're gonna get it from PLTW. We're gonna copy that and then paste it. Okay. Actually, we're gonna change the measurements because this is centimeters. We're going to do 3 inches instead, and this is going to be more than 3 inches. Okay. Um, oh, by the way, don't forget about the comments. So the comments needs to be done when you guys get them your work check. I'm going to delete this one. This is from the line follower, and then we're going to copy and paste this one right here. Okay. Um, and we're going to paste it here. Okay, start motor. If you guys forget, is from the natural language. Um, until sonar is until category, and then you have wait and LED on and stuff like that. Okay. So you know what? While we're here, what we want to do is fix formatting and then save, compile it. Let's check this one. I know it says 20, so I think for our setting is 20 inches. So we want to change that later. So I'm gonna download to robot. Um, if I press start, what's gonna happen? If I press start, what's gonna happen is gonna start the motor, and then it's gonna wait for a signal from the sonar here that is 20 inches. It's gonna stop the motor. It will turn on the LED for 6.25 seconds, and then it will turn it off. So let's just try that. So this is 20 inches. This is almost 2 feet. So I'm gonna click start. So it's waiting for a signal from the sonar. I'm gonna raise my hand. I'm gonna bring my hand up, but it's gonna be more than 2 feet, and then I'm gonna slowly bring it down. You can see my shadow. You can see the shadow of my hand on the video. So it's about 20 inches away. So that's kind of far. Okay. So it already stopped and then if you notice, there was a green light here. Okay. So let's start that again. And then there's a green light right there. It turned on, and it will turn off after 6 seconds. Okay, or 6.25 seconds. All right. So this is a little bit too much because it's in centimeters. So what we'll do 3 inches. Okay. So I'm gonna download that again. Um, so I'm gonna click start. So you can probably see my hand right now. That's not 3 inches yet. It's So once I get close to the 3 inches, it will stop. Okay, so that's 3 inches. And then you have the green LED for 6.25 seconds. All right, so now let's do the code for this one. Wait until an object is detected within 3 inches to turn both motors on. So what we'll do, I'm gonna take this, cut it, and put it in front at the top, because we're not gonna turn on the motor until it detects 3 inches, something 3 inches away from it. It will start the motor. Once I move my hand away, then the motors will turn off. Okay, so I'm gonna use the same one, and then I'm going to stop the motor. I'm gonna remove the LEDs from the previous code, but we want to be greater than 3 inches. So here it needs to be until sonar greater than. So let me double check that code. Until sonar greater than. So I need to put the word greater. Make sure the spelling is correct. It's capital G. Okay. All right. So I'm going to fix formatting, save it, compile it. You have no error. Let's download to robot. When I press start, nothing's gonna happen because it's waiting for something that is 3 inches away from the sonar. I'm gonna move my hand a little far. You're gonna start seeing my hand going down. On the video, you can see my hand, right? Once it detects 3 inches, this 3 inches away, it's gonna start the motor. Oops, it did not start the motor. Okay, so we'll do. So sometimes it skip, right? So what we're gonna do is this. We'll do a wait. Oops. We'll do like a 0.5 seconds. And I think I was moving my hand, so I need to move a little faster with my hand. So compile it, save it, download to robot. Okay, so I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna press start. And it's supposed to start the motor. Not quite sure. Let's see. Let's get some readings here. Sonar, 3 inches. So when I move my hand back and forth if it's shaking, it may have jumped. So let's try it again. So this is part of coding where you just have to troubleshoot. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna use. I'm gonna put a wait time here also. I'm gonna copy this wait time. I'm gonna put a wait time here. I'm gonna put a wait time here. Okay. Let's see where that takes us. Okay, I'm gonna press start. There. So I raised my hand a little bit to 3 inches. Maybe I'll go all the way down to one, and then I'll raise it up back up. Okay, so let's try it again. So until sonar is greater than 3 inches. So yeah, let's see. It worked halfway. Let's see. Distance. I'm gonna remove this wait time here. See if that one works. Very good. All right. So I think that wait time caused it to stop because what happens when we had that wait time, um, when we had that wait time, it sensed that there's something greater than 3 inches. It waited zero point 0.5 seconds and then it stops the motor. So that wait was a signal to stop the motor. So I had to remove it. So now I press start, I move down, motor starts, it's waiting for something greater than three. I'm gonna raise my hand up, then it stops. Okay. Um, Later on, you can actually program this so that you go like this, it will start and stop the motor. Okay. And there's a code that you need to add to make that happen. Okay. All right. So anyway, that concludes part six. Part six was a bit challenging, but that's part of coding and robotics. Um, all right. So anyway, make sure that you have comments here before you get it checked. And once you have that done, um, this is actually 35 points of your grade. Okay. All right. Thank you and good luck.